Hello, welcome to another beginner training on how to use law of attraction. If you missed the last two sessions, don't worry, I'm going to link them down below in the description so that you can check it out, or maybe you should check them out now and then come to this video. But I'm so excited because this process that I'm going to walk you through was one of the ones that really inspired me to start taking law of attraction seriously. So this video is going to be a little bit different from the previous ones, and I'm going to share with you famous people that you know and that they got to where they are thanks to law of attraction. So are you ready for this? Oh my god, I'm so excited. So let's go. Okay, are you ready? Let's deep dive to know what famous people use law of attraction. You are going to uncover the secrets and methods they use to achieve their own success. And first, we have Queen Bee. She doesn't really talk about using the law, but she does it. And you know how? She does it without even realizing it. And in an interview to the show 60 Minutes, she revealed that when she runs on a treadmill, she keeps a picture of an Academy Award in the room so that she can keep her goal in her mind and visualize achieving it. So this is her secret. She keeps the goals in her mind and she visualizes achieving them. Next, we have Kanye West. So before anyone else rooting for him, he had to root for himself and focus on what he wanted to become instead of what he was at the time. And this is super difficult, but it was a secret. So he attributes his transformation to become a superstar just by imagining such a transformation first. So, quoting his words, I am a production of me. I thought I was the best rapper in the world. I sat around and thought about it and then became Kanye West. So, he might not use the words law of attraction, but it's clear to those who are familiar with it. So, that was exactly what he was doing. Then, woohoo, Lady Gaga. So she is another fan of law of attraction, but rather than relying on visualization and visualizing what she wanted, she used mantras and affirmations. So when she was a struggling artist trying to make a living in New York's underground club scene, she would focus on what she wanted to become and use specific words to help her brain think that was real already. So um, that was her secret. Um, so moving on, quoting her words, it's sort of like a mantra. You repeat it to yourself every day, she said. Music is my life, music is my life, fame is inside of me. I'm going to make a number one record with number one hits. And it's not yet, it's a lie. You are saying a lie over and over and over again, and then one day the lie is true. And it happened to her, right? Next, we have Conor McGregor. So, he isn't the first guy that you would think of when you picture a person who practices gratitude, right? But the UFC fighter lives his life based on that very concept. So, quoting his words, you need to appreciate your surroundings and be grateful for it. And that's when good things happen, he said. To have that bitterness and negativity, that's when things go bad. I think the fact that I appreciate everything and that I'm grateful for the things around me, that's why it's going so good for me. So, um, if we deep dive a little bit more into his secret, if you can see it here in your head and you have enough courage to speak it, it will happen. I see these shots, I see these sequences, I don't shy away from them. A lot of times people believe in certain things, but they keep to themselves. They don't put it out there. If you truly believe in it and become vocal with it, you are creating that law of attraction and it will become reality. Okay? So speaking into existence, and also practicing gratitude. Those are his secrets. Next, a huge advocate, Jim Carrey. So, visualization is one of the most popular ways to get law of attraction working, right? We already talked about that. Basically, the aim is to imagine something so vividly that you feel as if it's real, and then attract it into your experience with the vibration of your energy. So, the legendary actor Jim Carrey relied on this technique back when he was trying to get his start. Well, before his funny faces and impressions were iconic yet. And he said in interviews that he would think about all the directors interested in him and his work to help bring about the feeling of success even before it was his. Carey also used physical aids to help his imagination. And how? Well, I wrote myself a check of $10 million for acting services rendered. I gave myself 3 years and I dated it Thanksgiving 95. But then, just before Thanksgiving 95, I found out I was going to make $10 million on Dumb and Dumber. See? He used a physical aid. He wrote himself a check. And what is his secret? I would visualize having directors interested in me and people that I respect saying, I like your work. I would visualize things coming to me that I wanted and I had nothing at the time, but it just made me feel better. At the time, all I really was for me was making me feel better. I would drive home and think, well, I do have these things. They are out there. I just don't have a hold of them yet, but they are out there. This is pretty powerful. Up next, we have Oprah Winfrey. So, no one can deny the success of Oprah. She's one of the world's wealthiest women. She often talks about the importance of believing that something is true in order to make it so. So, Oprah believes that it all has to do with the view she had of herself and the thoughts in her head. She believed in her potential, concentrated on what she wanted instead of what she didn't want, and act like a success long before the first paycheck arrived. So, this is one of her quotes: create the highest, greatest vision possible for your life because you become what you believe. This is so powerful. I love her. Next, we have Will Smith. So, he is one of those stars who don't just use law of attraction unknowingly. He understands how it works and spends a lot of time spreading the message to thousands of listeners. You can find a lot of his content here on YouTube. So, quoting his words, I believe wholeheartedly that our thoughts, our feelings, our dreams, our ideas are physical in the universe. That if we dream something, if we picture something, we commit ourselves to it, and that is a physical trust towards realization that we can put into the universe. That the universe is not a thing that's going to push us around, that the world and people and situations are not things that are going to push us around, that we are going to command and demand that the universe become what we want it to be. Command and demand, that's his secret. Deep dive a little bit better. Quoting his words, I believe that I can create whatever I want to create. If I put my head on it right, study it, learn the patterns, and it's hard to put it into words. It's real, metaphysical, esoteric nonsense, but I feel very strongly that we are who we chose to be. It's a decision, right? Up next, we have Steve Harvey. So, one of the celebrities who actively advocates for the law of attraction is this comedian, actor, and TV personality that is Steve Harvey. So, he uses his platform to raise awareness for the power of thought, and in particular, is a huge fan of the law of attraction book called The Secret. So, quoting his words here, "The Secret is the most powerful book outside of the Bible that I have read in my life," he said in one of his shows. The book is based on the law of attraction and how the principle, once you master it, can help you find wealth, happiness, better health, whatever you are looking for, relationships. Right? And let's dive into a secret. Like attracts like. You have to understand. You are a magnet. Whatever you are, that's what you draw to you. If you are negative, if you are going to draw negativity. You are positive, you draw positive. You are a kind person. Most people are kind to you. If you see it in your mind, you can hold it into your hand. This is so true. I agree. Okay, up next we have Denzel Washington. So, appearing in a YouTube video that went viral, Denzel is heard talking about his view on how the world works and the power humans have to create their own destinies. So, after being asked if he believed that you attract what you fear, he confirmed. While many stars are happy to talk about how the law of attraction brought them what they wanted, they don't always discuss the other side that dwelling on the negative will bring you negative experience. So, Washington believes in clearing your mind of fearful, hateful, and other nasty thoughts to avoid drawing those things into your life like a magnet. So, quoting his words, well, I mean positively and negatively. I mean you attract. I mean just not just what you fear, you attract what you feel, what you are. That's totally true. Next, we have Schwarzenegger. So, whatever he's doing, he pictures what he wants to happen. He focuses on it until he feels and believes that is true, and then enjoys it when it comes to fruition. So, quoting his words, it's the same process I used in bodybuilding. What you do is create a vision of who you want to be and then live that picture as if it were already true. So, he's a perfect example of applying the same law to absolute anything he does, and it works for him every time because it's a law, right? And what is his secret? So, quoting his words, when I was very young, I visualized myself being and having what it was I wanted. Mentally, I never had any doubts about it. The mind is really so incredible. Before I won my first Mr. Universe title, I walked around the tournament like I own it. The title was already mine. I had won it so many times in my mind that there was no doubt I would win it. Then, when I moved on to the movies, the same thing. I visualized myself being a famous actor and earning big money. I could feel and taste success. I just knew it would all happen. See how powerful visualization is and acting as if it already happened. Oh my god, I love this. Because you have here proof, right? So let's move on to our last one. And the one that I chose was Idris Elba. I love this man. So, oh, hang on, sorry for this. So, Idris is not only an actor but also a producer, a DJ, and a musician. And a lot of people spend their whole lives trying to achieve success in just one of these areas, but he had killed it in all of them. And like the other stars on this presentation, on this video, his ability to imagine his success before he achieved it was a major part of his journey to success. So, quoting his words, I think my imagination has always kept me going. I just imagine myself collecting awards. I just imagine myself getting big parts. That's part of my inner magic. If I can see myself doing it, I can do it. So, this is the famous people that I gathered to share with you that law of attraction really works because you have proof. You see these people on your television, you can find them online, you can find their biography and search more about their lives, and they openly talk about law of attraction. So I found it interesting to bring this to you so that you can start using this law to leverage your success and make your dreams a reality. And just to finish this part of the video, those were my sources to gather this information for you. I hope you enjoyed this session as much as I enjoyed making it for you. By the way, my name is Kateline. I guess I forgot to mention that before. I am a wealth and mindset strategist. I challenge people's beliefs for a living. Basically, that's what I do. And I am passionate about law of attraction because just like these people that I just showed you, I too am where I am thanks to law of attraction. So I created this channel to help people around the world. It's an easier way with YouTube, right? To walk them how to use law of attraction, how they can leverage it, something that is already happening to you, so that you can get to where you want to get in life. So I can't wait to see you in the next session. Okay, I'm going to link it down below too, and maybe here as well. And I'll see you in another session.